All right, folks, Yishai Fleisher here with an Israel at War update. Last night, Israeli jets took off and traveled a path unknown yet to us. Maybe their flight went through Saudi Arabia. It's unknown. It has not been released. But what we do know is that 140 jets struck in Iran and also in its capital city, Tehran. They flew 1,600 miles. They hit 20 targets, military targets, rocket manufacturing, rocket stockpiles, rocket launchers, and also Iran's air defense capabilities as well were struck. So a powerful attack last night, and this was the answer to the attack that Israel faced about a month ago when hundreds of rockets came from Iran, those very same kind of rockets that were attacked by Israel last night. Let's take a look at some of the videos of the Israeli Air Force preparing to fly out. All right, here they are getting into their jets. And what I like about this video is it kind of shows you that, like, this was done by Israeli jets, Israeli fighters. It wasn't some kind of it wasn't some kind of, just intelligence mission or some kind of blowing up that happened in Iran by agitators that were pro-Israel or anti-Iranian regime. No, Israel flew its jets to Iran and struck there. So that's video that I have number one. Let's see another video, and that is Prime Minister Netanyahu is in the bunker of the defense ministry. And he is with the top generals, and he's getting briefed on everything. Sitting next to him is the defense minister, Yoav Gallant. Okay, so we have a real sense that he's up in the middle of the night, Friday night, and he is making decisions and being briefed. And it's not just the army, but it's also the Israeli political echelon, which is making the decisions. Let's take a look at some of the explosions, the attacks in Iran itself. Now, reports are coming in that Israeli intelligence, Israeli computer, the hacking kind of arms, the cyber warriors, sent wrong information to the defense systems of Iran, and therefore Iran is shooting in that video at nothing. And so that's one of the ways that Israel was able to avert the Iranian air defenses, and they were blowing up the air defenses as well. But here we saw air defenses shooting, but it turns out they really shot at nothing. And the real point is that Israel was able to go into Iran, control the skies, strike at the very rockets that struck us here in Israel, and come home unscathed. I think that's really the message. And let's hear that message from Daniel Hagari, who's a rear admiral in the Israeli army, and he is the English spokesman as well. And before I let him speak, I just want to say, notice that he is limiting his language, and he's saying, look, we were able to strike, but we're trying not to, and here's like the words unsaid, we're trying not to ignite a regional war. And so, Iran could accept this and stand down as opposed to going for a full regional conflict. You could check out his words, see if you can hear what I'm saying there.
Confirm that we have concluded the Israeli response to Iran's attack against Israel. We conducted targeted and precise strikes on military targets in Iran, thwarting immediate threats to the state of Israel.
All right, this is an important point. Israel has excellent intelligence that they're able to strike at targets all the way in Iran. Iran, far away, big country, 80 million civilians, and yet Israel was able to precisely target the military threats against itself, and again, thereby allowing Iran to not necessarily strike back and averting a regional war. Now, some might say maybe it's better to have a regional war with Iran now that they're weak, and that might be very, very true. But it seems that Israel also made agreements with the United States, promising not to attack oil refineries and nuclear development sites, and also minimizing civilian casualties. So I think that's what is being hinted at here.
The Israel Defense Forces has fulfilled its mission. If the regime in Iran were to make the mistake of beginning a new round of escalation, we will be obligated to respond. Our message is clear. All those who threaten the state of Israel and seek to drag the region into wider escalation will pay a heavy price. We demonstrated today that we have both the capability and the resolve to act decisively, and we are prepared on offense and defense to defend the state of Israel and the people of Israel.
Okay, so there's an operative word there, which is demonstrate. This was a demonstration and an attack on capabilities, the rocket-making capability, and also the air defenses. But still, it was a demonstration, not a full-on attack to dismantle the regime, certainly, but rather to disable their ability to strike at Israel and to also demonstrate. There's a demonstration aspect in it. Okay, let's take a look at even more than just a demonstration. Let's take a look at a video of Israel striking at the Hezbollah, South Lebanese Shiite proxy that has been attacking Israel and continues to attack Israel with hundreds of rockets over the weekend as well. Take a look at Israel demolishing one of the terror tunnels that Hezbollah built in a village in South Lebanon to attack Israel with. Take a look at this. This is a massive explosion. Now, notice that this video also kind of shows that there's been like it's like an attack. It's a destruction of a tunnel, but there's like seismic activity around that, and indeed, Israel registered a seismic activity due to this explosion. Israel's got to be careful. There's a fault line over there, and we got to make sure not to set off that fault line, or else there could be a catastrophic earthquake in the north of Israel and the south of Lebanon. So we have to be very careful about that as well. But at the same time, the massive terror tunnel system that Iran built in South Lebanon through its proxy Hezbollah is being fought. That's more than a demonstration. That's actual destruction of our enemy, and hopefully we'll be able to push Hezbollah. I would push them into the grave and never see them again. You know, they should be completely eliminated. But others talk about pushing them to the north of the Litani River, and that is part of the discussion. But you saw the destruction of those tunnels that were aimed at destroying Israel. So we are destroying the destroyers. Let's take a look at one more video, which is Amit Segal. He's one of Israel's most known commentators and journalists, and he talks about a dichotomy that Iran faces.
וגם באמת באשר למטרות, לא נפט, לא גרעין, לא גז וכולי. תראי, הפרדוקס האיראני...
He says that the Iranian paradox
לאחר התקיפה הזאת הוא כזה. מצד אחד...
After this attack is as follows.
הם חייבים להגיב על פגיעה מאוד מאוד קשה בריבונות של...
On the one hand, they have to strike back at Israel because Israel undermined their sovereignty in a very embarrassing way.
מהצד השני, היכולת שלהם להגיב יורדת, חיסלנו להם את אמצעי ייצור הטילים, פגענו בעוד דברים,
However, their ability to launch such an attack has become much more limited because they no longer have the same capability after the strike, and also they have less defensive capability as well, because Israel took out the air defenses. They have less ability to defend themselves. However, Israeli military analysts foresee that Iran will respond in some way.
שעשוע, אם אפשר לקרוא לזה ככה בסיטואציה הזאת, על כל הדיון כאילו על סיכום המשחק שאנחנו עוד בערך בשלב הגישושים.
All right, so and the Israeli intelligence is kind of smirking at the discussion, the Iranian discussion of how they're going to strike back, since that, you know, it's pretty obvious that Israel really has air superiority right now over Iran. Of course, this is I add, we can never we can never laugh at the enemy or not take them seriously. Look what they did to us on the 7th of October. And let's be real. They totally took us by surprise, murdered our people, and we were barely able to defend ourselves on that day. So we should never take lightly the abilities of our enemies and always take them seriously and always be on guard. Let's keep going with Amit Segal. He says Iran is our main enemy, and the masks are off now. It's not just a proxy war anymore. It's mano a mano. It's face to face. It's the principal actors fighting against one another in the open.
היו לו 3 נכסים עיקריים. 2 מהם בשלבי כרסום משמעותיים, אחד זה הציר, חמאס וחיזבאללה.
So Iran has 3 major strengths. One is already being dealt with, and that is the proxies, Hezbollah and Hamas, and that's being dealt with, and their ability has been stymied.
ספגו מכות קשות ביותר. השני זה
They got strong hits against them, these two forces.
הטילים, אתמול בלילה או לפנות בוקר.
The other one is the rocket ability, and now Iran's rocket ability has been shrunken
פעולה מוצלחת, אבל
in this successful operation.
נשארה המטרה הסופית, הגביע הקדוש, הגרעין, מה שכל
And the last major strength that Iran has, the Holy Grail, is the nuclear abilities, the nuclear bomb that they would like to develop to throw at Israel, destroy Israel, and also, by the way, to destroy Saudi Arabia, which is Sunni control of their what they think of as their holy places, of Muslim holy places, which they would like to control.
אמורה להגן עליו, והוא בסוף האיום הקיומי על מדינת ישראל, ולכן להגיד שהדבר הזה יסתיים, זאת בדיחה.
Okay, so we cannot say that this is over. Israel is not taking care of the nuclear challenge, and so to say that it's over and that the game is over is a joke. The war continues.
מה שכן אפשר להגיד, אולי יסתיים האירוע בזמן ממשל ביידן. פנינו לימים דרמטיים ביותר בארצות הברית.
Okay, what we can say is that this stage of the conflict was done during the time of the Biden administration, and we are set for very dramatic days in the American elections coming up.
בישראל הזאת לפחות, נדמה לי שמקווים שדונלד טראמפ ייבחר, ואז הכל
He says, I think that the Israeli administration, the Israeli government, would like to see, the coalition would like to see Donald Trump elected.
והערה אחרונה.
כלומר, אתה אומר בעצם צריך להבין שמבחינת ראש הממשלה יש כאן ציפייה שטראמפ ייבחר, ואז הוא יוכל להשלים את המשימה.
לא.
She asked, does this mean that the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, is hoping that Trump will be elected and therefore he can continue and finish off the Iranian problem?
אין ספק שהגישה של טראמפ כלפי איראן שונה לחלוטין מהגישה של האריס ושל ביידן.
There's no doubt that the Trump administration's position vis-a-vis Iran is 180 degrees different than the Biden-Harris administration.
זה אחד, לפחות לפי העבר והצהרות. הדבר
According to
הנוסף,
the past, that is.
אנחנו במלחמה שלא הורגלנו אליה מעולם. היינו רגילים למלחמות של 6 ימים.
We are in a war that we are completely unused to. We were used to war in 6 days.
של 18 יום פתאום קיבלנו
18 days.
מלחמה שנכנסת עכשיו לשנתה השנייה. היינו
Now we're entering into a war that is going into its 2nd year. We're in a totally different type of conflict than we're used to.
רגילים למין מכות כאלה מדהימות, מפתיעות של ישראל. ישראל עכשיו...
We are witness to these amazing and surprising strikes by Israel like we saw last night in Iran.
נגד כמו ארצות הברית, מודיעה מראש שהיא עומדת לתקוף, שר הביטחון אומר.
And we're even letting the Iranians and the Americans, we let them know that we're about to strike. We're even dealing with the international community by kind of like making sure that everybody's aware.
ראש הממשלה אומר, ופשוט מנחיתה את המכות, לא יודע לגבי התמשכות המלחמה, אבל בהקשר הזה ממש התנהגות של מעצמה.
This is, he says, I don't know about the future, but this is the actions of a superpower, or at least a regional power, and Israel is really taking control, and that's the only way. That's the only way around here. If Israel pushes back on Iran, hopefully even leads to regime change, we'll be liberating the millions of people in Iran that are looking forward to liberation from that awful regime. And so too in Gaza, and so too in South Lebanon. Israel is on a path of cleaning out the region of jihadism, and showing its strength, and thereby getting back to the idea of the Abraham Accords. Sunni countries that are they're, let's call them moderate today. Although, by the way, parenthetically, the UAE has condemned Israel's strike in Iran, but still, the Abraham Accord countries understand not only look forward to Israel being the security chief around here, the kind of provider of security, including a nuclear umbrella in this region. And that's what's going to happen when Israel is strong, pushes back on its enemies, gets rid of jihadism, is the governor and the sovereign in its land, and certainly has a strong arm against anybody who wants to hurt it from a distance. So that is the consciousness that we have woken up to here in the Middle East. Israel striking at Iran, and now the game is no longer a game of proxies. It's now a game of Iran versus Israel, and the fight is in the open. Folks, I want to thank you for being with me, and I also want to mention that we just finished the high holidays here in Israel, and yet this war is called the attack yesterday in Iran has been named Days of Repentance, as though the days of repentance that we just finished keep going. There's still days of repentance that have to happen. If you love our broadcasts, please support what we do. Check out buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. And I so appreciate all the folks that help us be stronger, help Israel be stronger, help our broadcast be stronger. Check out buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. I was going to say Israel, but no, I am not Israel itself, but we are trying to broadcast Israel and share it with you wherever you are. And thank you so much for your love and support. Also, check out the Jewish community of Hebron. That's where I work on my day job. And that is where the tomb of the forefathers and mothers is. Abraham and Sarah, Isaac, Rebecca, Jacob, and Leah. The small Jewish community that's there keeps the place safe and strong and visitable. You could visit it. You could come in and visit, because we keep the place open with that amazing courage of the Jewish community of Hebron. So check out hebronfund.org to learn more about it and to support its fight for strength in the land of Israel against jihadism, and also its European anti-Israelism that supports the jihadism. So that's the fight that we have there. And finally, if you want us to continue to beautify the land of Israel and also teach Torah and truth around the world, check out fightforisrael.org, where we do a lot of good work. This is headed by me to fix up the land, to renovate, to beautify, to teach, and to share and to connect. I want to bless you wherever you are, and I want to ask you to pray for the strength of Israel. That is what's going to bring regional peace. That is what's going to bring to regional prosperity for Israel and for those people who love Israel and want to cooperate with Israel for a better future for this whole Abrahamic region. God bless you, folks, wherever you are. Thank you very much, and shalom.